What's up, guys? Welcome to A Seat. I'm Demi.
I'm Randy.
And on today's episode, we are going to be talking about childhood trauma. Now, this is probably going to be a sensitive subject for many. And, we just want you guys to be open to what we're saying. I know that we talk about trauma, especially childhood trauma. A lot of times we think about physical abuse, maybe mental abuse, but there's so many layers to childhood trauma. So one, what is childhood trauma? Two, how can you identify childhood trauma, and how can you be healed from childhood trauma? And the different ones, the different ones,
But people don't think about the unconscious ones.
The
ones that aren't really obvious. Those are the most detrimental ones, actually. You can deal with things that you can see, but you can't think of the things that you have to dissect.
Yeah, I know. For a good example, we have a associate that grew up well. I mean, but the thing was, their parents tried to buy them, so they never tapped into their kids. They were just able to always fund things and give them money, and they have the nice things, but emotionally the child was drained.
But let me ask you this though, and just to build up the storyline. So do you feel like those, we're going to use parents, those parents that grew up rough, do you think that when they get to the point where they're well-to-do and can give to their kids unconditionally, do you think that it's more of a they're not looking at it as trauma because they're giving you all the things that they wish they could have had?
Oh, of course.
So then you have to explain to that person where the trauma comes in, because they're going, I mean, you talking trauma, my kids got everything they want. But do you talk to your kids? See, that's what I'm getting at. Do you talk to your kids?
Or did you show love? Did you show affection?
But how did you show the love?
Yeah.
Because you can show the love through Jordans. I wasn't able to get $300 pair of shoes, and you get them whenever you want them. Yeah.
But you're choosing to do that.
You're choosing to do that. What about the things that are every day? How was your day?
I love you.
I love you.
You're doing so well.
I can appreciate the fact that last year this time, I used to have to tell you every day to pick your room up. Now, I know that you take pride in the fact that you want to be clean. That's special. To let someone know you're paying attention to them in the way that they're growing.
Right.
Those are the things that are special to me. Those are the things that help with reducing certain levels of trauma. Being attentive, being alert, because childhood trauma can go into adulthood.
And it can go into adulthood. And when it does,
I'm talking about from you can be an adult still dealing with the same trauma you were dealing with 20 years ago.
But how do people get to how can they get to that?
Well, how do they get to the resolution?
To the resolution. I mean, you got some people that are waiting on apologies. They're waiting on accountability. And they may not get it. So how do those people deal with that once they identify it? Is it a conversation that they have with the villain?
Sometimes it's a conversation. Sometimes it's just a moment in time where you have to realize I got to live my life for myself. You're not going to always get the apology. So you have to ask yourself, are you strong enough to forgive a person for not knowing that they did wrong? See, that's the thing. You may not be getting an apology. It may not be a stubborn moment. It may be a moment of not knowing. You grow up with youthful parents. You're a first generation child, but they're first generation parents. Do you really believe that with the hardest job given to man, they're going to know every mistake that they made? Hardest job is parenting. They're not going to know. So how can you get someone to apologize for something that they thought they were doing right? You got to just be able to say, you know what? I'm going to chalk this one up. Now, I'm not going to keep giving you chances to make mistakes, but for that moment in time, I'm going to forgive you, depending on how detrimental the mistake was.
Yeah.
Now, I have to put that disclaimer out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then I do feel like sometimes certain parents feel the conviction.
Yeah.
But I'm your parent. But they use it as a power move. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm your
They
parent.
use it as an age. I like to say they use it as an age move.
I'm your parent. I did this, I did that. But sometimes deep down inside, they know that the situation that they were part of was wrong and it was going to affect the child.
When do parents realize that your status may only be highly relevant in the time that you used it? Say, what do you mean, Randy? Time changes.
Yeah, break that down.
Time changes. You know, and you can't keep being overbearing about something that happened in the 80s when we're in the 2000s. You got to, if you're not going to grow with the times, you might need to listen to your kids. And I'm not saying kids know everything, but they might be to school you on a couple of things that you're not clear on to help advance your parenting skills. You know, you can't sit here and we're in a device age.
Oh my God.
But you still living in analog. I need you to come to the light. I need you to come to the light because your trauma now might be coming from depriving your kids of being able to stay in the times that they're in. It's so many levels to the trauma. So many levels to the trauma. And the best advice I could give an adult that is rearing young ones, be open to listen. Be open to listen. Now, I'm not saying to be open to agree with everything, but be open to listen. Be open to ask them questions, you know. Enlighten me on this.
And I think that's important because I know when we were growing up, you had no voice.
Child,
you said your opinion. It was like you was being disobedient, and it was like, wow. It's like, but I'm just trying to say what I feel.
You don't have no feelings and no curiosity when you're young.
And we need to be more open to our kids. And like you said, it's not about a child being on above a parent. It's just simply being able to hear and listen, derive, and understand what they're going through or what it is they're trying to open up to you. Because it could be something that's really, really detrimental to them, and then you shut them down, and then they're gone, deep end.
So look at it this way. Okay, we're in a technological age where we have all this social media, we have all these things on television that kids are engulfing themselves in. If you don't allow a person that is being influenced by normal household, we're not a normal household. We homeschool our kids and all that, but a normal household where your kids are leaving you at 6, 7 o'clock and you're not sitting until 4 or 5 o'clock in that evening. Almost half of your day. You're sleeping a great part of the day, so you may only have 6 hours with this person.
Right. They're
being influenced by those other hours. If you don't give that person the opportunity to be vocal, you are no longer raising your kids. That thing
is raising them.
Is raising your kids.
That's true.
And the influence is raising your kids. So be willing to ask questions and say, why are you this way? Because you might just get the answer that you need and say, well, you know what? This is the thing that's trending right now. Wait a minute. You doing this because it's trending. This is what's hot right now. Someone what's hot right now. That gives you the opportunity to show them why what's hot might not be what's right.
Correct.
But if you don't ask the questions, you never know. This is from experience.
It's definitely from experience. I just know that, and especially in this time, we're dealing with a lot of mental illness.
Christ.
Just so much. And a lot of it comes from the childhood.
Yeah.
And for me, I think the worst thing you can do to a child when they've dealt with trauma, whether it been dramatic, non-dramatic, or even unconscious, is to say, I mean, you should be over that shit now.
I'm gonna be over something we never talked about.
You can't. That to me is just a negative connotation. Like, no, certain people have to go through a process to deal with things, and I'm not saying that those who are in their position of the trauma have to be victims forever. But what I am saying is the worst thing that you can tell an adult child that may be
blow it off.
It's really 10 years old still, but you really 30 or 40 is the fact that you should be over this shit. No, we need to have a conversation, and we need to be, and we got to be open. That's where healing starts again, by being open, by being vulnerable, and just listening. And like you said, sometimes they really don't know, but then the ones that do, just be open to the conversation. But when you are in that space and you are going to whoever it is you're dealing with trauma, it's just the way to do it.
Well,
It's just a way to do it.
it's the thin line between keeping and losing your kids. So you can be so hell bent on being right that you'll be right alone. Instead of opening up the window for a discussion to find out if you possibly made a mistake, to bring them closer. Because ultimately, what do you want for your kids? Do you want them to exile you and do everything in secret, or be open enough to give you everything up front? I want the up front. Even if it means that we might have a little rift. But I'd rather have a little rift than to have a lifetime of loneliness.
That's deep. That's deep. You know, I'm just a believer in people really wanting to heal, really tapping in, and really just taking ownership of the things that they done.
I'm trying to tell you, I know one thing. I love my babies.
I know. They the sweetest.
And I need my babies to always be my babies, even as adults. And I'm not saying that I'm trying to be the male figure that hinders their home.
Correct.
What I'm saying is I want my kids to always understand that dad has an open mind. And if there's a problem, you can come to me and I'm going to be unbiased.
But they still understand the authority as a father.
There you go.
It's not a thing where we friends, like we cool,
Yeah.
because we not cool. But as a parent, I am open and willing.
I mean, we are cool.
We cool as hell. We cool as a fan. FYI.
We are cool. We just are pushovers.
We're not pushovers.
We're not push, but we are cool.
But
just
we
not
like
pushing.
we like to hear.
We like happiness, man.
Yeah.
I like happiness. I don't like dissension. The world is built on negativity.
It sells. Negativity sells.
But you know what? I don't want what sells. I want what make me good. And peace makes me good. Being able to wake up, it's a hard. I'm gonna tell you the hardest pill for me to swallow was when there was no dissension amongst us. I was like, I thought it was a joke. I thought we was being punked.
You thought Ashton Kutcher was gonna come out.
Because I was like, you know what?
He didn't.
She just waited on that moment to snap. Like, damn, she ain't snap. And then just keep on going. And then after a while, you go months, and you're like, you know what? This happiness thing pretty cool. This guy, I love this thing. Trust me, get you some of that.
Yep.
Get you some of that, and watch how your finances will grow. Watch how your relationship will grow.
Yep.
Watch how you'll start growing better with your friends and things of that nature. Whoever's supposed to be in your life. When you find that peace at home first, the world's your oyster. I mean, it really is. And I'm gonna tell you something. Don't take it for granted when it happens. Appreciate it, because you're in a rare group of people that can actually say that they are living the life that they always want to live.
Yep. So thank you guys for tuning in. Childhood trauma. I think this will be an ongoing topic. We'll have more episodes about this. This is just, the first layer of it. Precursor, whether it's, self-inflicted, whether it's something detrimental, whether it was something that was unconscious. It's so many levels, and it brings on so many things: depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts. You're living in your past, and you got to deal with it. And so what my suggestion would be for parents whose kids are coming to them about something that may have happened to them, just be open. Just be open. It doesn't take anything away from you. And if you are addressing your the villain in your story, then there is a way to do it, y'all. But we got to heal. We have to heal. We got to heal our culture. We got to heal our community. We got to heal our kids, our men, our women, because we got so many people that's out here married and they are living as a 10-year-old child, 11-year-old child, whatever that moment of trauma occurred, that is where their life stopped.
Misery.
So make sure you guys follow us on our social media platforms, Instagram and Facebook, A Seat with Randy and Demi. Make sure you also subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Real House, and of course, your favorite Truth Coach.
Truth Coach Randy everywhere.
Truth Coach Randy everywhere. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you on the next episode.